Assalamu alaikum, guys. You guys are worried about solutions of the statistical problems like standard deviation of ungrouped data and some other statistical. This is a very difficult type of term, statistics and statistical. Okay. Anyways, so you have problems and you don't have the capacity to memorize the formula. You don't. You have worries regarding formula, how to memorize it, and then you can't memorize it. So the same goes to this gentleman. I can't memorize. So how I crack such kind of questions and how I get the answers of such kind of questions? I just follow these steps. Okay, through these steps, I'm able to crack this particular question problem, and I just get the solution that's genuinely correct. So now I'm going to share those steps with you guys. Now just follow me and watch this particular lecture. Don't forget subscribing our channel and telling your friends about Dr. UUT lectures, telling them that how this gentleman is cracking in a different way this particular problem, statistical problem, stats problem. Simply short, say this word, stats, statistics, statistics. Okay, coming to the point, the very first one. We have a standard deviation of ungrouped data. The question in exam you will be given to you. You have a data 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now find this standard deviation of this particular data. Find the standard deviation of this particular data. This is the data. Now find the standard deviation. This is an ungrouped data. Okay, we don't see any kind of class. Okay, so this is ungrouped data. The very first step that you're going to do is the very first step. Follow the steps, and the very first of the steps is you will go through the mean. You will find the mean. So we know how to find the mean. We just go through the data. We'll just do the sum of all these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We do the addition of all these. We need to do the summation. So we'll get the value that is 40. So we call this data and the x. Okay. So x is actually 40. Summation of x is all these sum give us 40. And n is actually the number of observations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 figures hereby divided by 5. We'll get the result. What? 5 8s are 40. 5 1, 5 8s are. Now just take this value. This is your mean, okay? X bar, X bar. Just write this in front of each number. 8, 8, 8, 8. So what we got? Data X is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And X bar is actually the mean which we got from the data. That is 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay? The very first step is to take the mean from the data. So we got the mean from the data, means X bar. The very second step, when you are doing standard deviation, you must remember is that regarding standard deviation, it is told that you must find the difference between the data and the mean. What is the difference? So the second step is to find the difference between the data and the mean. Data is x, mean is x bar. So what is the difference now? 6 minus 8, the very first one. We will get minus 2. Why? Because 8 is larger number. 7 minus 8 is minus 1. 8 minus 8 is 0. 9 minus 8 is 1. 10 minus 8 is 2. So this is the difference that you guys must remember. First of all, data. Second, then after the data, we will having the first step is that is actually finding the mean. We got the mean hereby. The third step, when we go from this way, first, second, and third. Third step is getting the difference. That is from subtracting the x from the x bar. X is the data, x bar is the mean. Data minus mean. So data minus mean, data minus mean, data minus mean, we got these values. The next step after the difference is taking the square of the difference. You will take the square of the difference. Minus 2 is 4. Minus 2 multiply minus 2. 2 2s are 4. Minus minus will become plus. Okay. So minus 1 is my 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 4. So we just took the square of each value. So how many steps we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps. Okay. Counting the question also. The question is given to you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The data. Find the standard deviation. When it is about standard deviation, the very next step after writing these is take the mean of this. That is x bar of this. This will be your x. Now take the x bar. X bar is actually sum all these divided by the number of the observations. We added all 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 40 and divide by the number that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is the number hereby. Now just solve this, you will get 8. 5 ones, 5, 8. 5, 8, 40. So now just 8. This is your x bar. Now just draw the column and in that put 8 in front of each number, each observation. 6, 8, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 8. And now it is about standard deviation. So our next step will be the difference between these two. So we got the differences of all 6 minus 8, 7 minus 8, we got this. The next step will be the square of these differences. Okay, square of the differences. Now you have the differences, now just take the square of all these. Minus 2 will be converted into 4, minus 1 into 1, 0 into 0, 1 to 1, 4 to 4, 2 to 4, okay. So these steps must be remembered. Now you don't need to remember the formula, just remember these. The basic formulas you must know, that is regarding mean and again, here we have again the average. So one average or mean, second averages of this one. So now when you come to this particular step, the fourth step, when we count from this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. When you reach the fourth step, then do one thing, that is add all these, 4, 5, 6, and 10. Summation of d square, this is our d square, okay? This is our difference, you can say d, simple. And when you take the square of this will become d square. So d square is actually this one. When we sum all these, we get 10. Now do one thing. You got this, so you will now again compare this with the number of this. You will take the average of this with the number of observations. So average is actually v is equal to summation of d square, that is 10, divided by n is actually 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means the result of the fourth step will be divided with the number of observations of the data. So here you've got v is equal to 10 over 5. 10 is our this particular sum, and 5 is actually the number of observations. So we got v is equal to 2. When we divide these two, 5 ones are 5, 2. 2 is hereby. Now do one thing. When you take the square root of variance, this is called variance, okay, the average, you will get this particular step, under root v under root 2. Under root v is actually the SD, standard deviation, and under root of the 2 is 1.41. That is simple. The standard deviation is 1.41 of this particular data given to you. The standard deviation is 1.41. So summarizing the entire lecture in short, you're given the step, the question, find the standard deviation of this ungrouped data. What you are supposed to do is you don't remember the formula. You don't know the formula. Just follow these steps. The very first step, take the mean. This formula must be in your mind, okay? This is a simple average. Add all these and divide it by the number of these observations. We added all, number was 5. So we got what? We got this particular answer, 4, 2, or 5, 8. The second step was, so what the result you got, that is of the mean, put the mean in front of each number, each observation. So we put here the values. Then now it is standard deviation. So in the deviation, we are supposed to get the difference of the mean from the data. Means data and mean, we'll subtract them. Data minus mean. So data is 6, 8 is the mean. 6 minus 8 is minus 2, okay? Because 8 is larger, bigger number. Then go for the next one. So like this, we'll get all these values. Then the next step must be the square of this particular difference. We took the square, 4104, and the square of the difference is 10. When we add all these together, so adding all these, we get summation d square is 10. The next step we do is actually we take this particular result and we divide by this particular number of the observations. That is actually 5. N is 5. So 10 divided by 5. Summation d square is actually 10, which is this particular, and n is actually the number of observations, that is 5. 10 over 5 is equal to 2. So we write it as v is equal to 10 over 5, v is equal to 10. Then just take the square root of both sides. Square root of v, square root 2. SD, this square root of v is actually called now SD. And square root 2, when we solve it, so we will get 1.41, which is the standard deviation is 1.41 of this particular data. I hope you got the steps. Just follow the steps and forget about the formula. And that's how I cracked this particular statistical problem. Statistical problem, okay? I pronounce it in a different ways. States problem. Statistical problem. Well, thank you for watching Dr. Huge Lectures. Don't forget telling your friends about Dr. Huge Lectures.